everyone, it's Miss Allen and welcome to the July edition of Kids in the Kitchen. Today we'll be making strawberry salsa. The recipe comes from a book called Forest Feast for Kids. And this book is available through our newest ebook service, Freeding. If you haven't used Freeding yet, I recommend that you check out our ebook site on our website. Freeding allows a multiple of people to check out the same book at the same time, which works great for what we're doing today. So, because we're making strawberry salsa, I thought I would take you to my strawberry patch in my garden and show you strawberries growing on the vine. If you've never seen them, here they are. They start out little green ones, and then they start ripening, and this one is fully ripe, so we're gonna cut this one. Now, if you accidentally get one that's not fully ripe like this one is, and you get that one going, you can go ahead and put it in your window in some sunshine and it will ripen for you. So there we are, nice juicy strawberry. We're gonna take this in the house, we're gonna wash it and cut off that edge, and then we'll use it for the rest of our recipe. If you haven't gotten the recipe yet, no problem, we're gonna talk about it. Hi everyone, we're back. We're in my kitchen getting ready to make strawberry salsa. First, we need to talk about the ingredients in the recipe. So, first thing you need, strawberries. Remember, we were going to cut off the green tops of all of ours. And then a tomato. The recipe does call for aroma tomato. That's because these have less water content and they are firmer, so they hold better in a salsa. But if you choose to use another tomato like a beefsteak or something, that's fine also. We're going to need a fourth of a red onion. I pre-cut mine because I didn't want you to see me cry, because onions really do make me cry when I cut them. You don't have to use this much if you're not a big onion fan, but it will add a nice flavor to your salsa. We're going to need the juice of a fourth of a lime, so we're going to squeeze that in there. And the recipe calls for an herb, either cilantro, basil, or parsley will work well with this recipe. I am not a big fan of cilantro. It leaves a weird taste in my mouth, and for some people it does. If you're a fan of cilantro, that's a perfect one to use. Or you can use basil. I have lemon basil, so this is going to add a nice citrus touch with the lime. And then, of course, a pinch of salt. So, onions are cut. Most of my strawberries are cut. We're going to go ahead and cut the rest of my strawberries, and you just want to get them chopped. You can make your chop sizes as big or as small as you want them. Mine are a little more smushy because we keep our strawberries in the freezer. We had such a bounty of strawberries this spring that we did not want them to go to waste. So my strawberries were in the freezer. So my salsa is going to be a little watery than I probably like, but it's still going to be great. Another thing you should have with you, a towel. Because my hands always get sticky. So we've got our strawberries ready to go. Then we need to do our tomato. Roma tomato, make sure you cut off the top there. We don't need that. And it also makes it much easier to cut. Now, remember, we have talked several times when we have kids in the kitchen classes about using a knife, right? And I usually either tell you to make sure that you allow your adult to be doing the knife action, or if you are doing it, your adult is with you. You don't want to be doing this without an adult present, just to make sure that we are safe. And remember, if you watched when we did the peach one, we talked about the best way to cut with a knife. Do you remember we talked about making your fingers like a C, so this was straight, so that your knife, if it does happen to slide down, it's going to get it straight. It's not going to cut your fingers. You don't want to be doing this. You have to do this. So see my fingers right there? And it just slides down. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Slides down. Otherwise, your fingers are going to get chopped off. So when I'm cutting this tomato, my fingers are tucked in so that when I glide down, look at that, knife goes right against my knuckles. It is not cutting my fingers. And it also gives you opportunity to hold with the tips of your fingers hold on to. So almost done here with this tomato. Now is the perfect time to be getting tomatoes out of your garden if you're growing tomatoes, or even at the grocery store. It is tomato season and fruit season, so there's lots of good things. So this is a great time to start really eating nice, healthy, fresh foods, which you should be doing all the time, but spring is into summer is a great time to be doing that. So we've got our tomatoes and our strawberries in there and our onions, and I'm going to actually add them to a bigger bowl right now. Where's my spoon? I have a spoon. I do not know where my spoon went. Oh my goodness, it was just here. Well, we'll use this. So there we go. Get that all in there. Then we want to add our onions. And again, as little or as much onions as you like. Some of us are not big onion fans. Then I wanted to talk about how you go about cutting herbs, especially like basil, any of the flat leaf herbs like this. So when you go out to your garden, if you're growing them, herbs are super easy to grow. In fact, you can put them in little pots and grow them in your window. When you go, make sure you just pluck off the stem. We don't want a stem to our herb, okay? Then you're going to flatten them. I don't know if you can see. I'll bring it up so you can see. You're going to want to make a pile. Stack them. Mine are all just stacked up, almost like potato chips or Pringles. And then we're rolling them. I start where I cut off the stem. That's a nice straight edge. And you're going to roll them kind of almost so like they become an egg roll, a burrito. There we are. Okay, see that? Then you're going to cut. Now, the important part with cutting herbs is that you don't want to chop with a lot of motion, because the essence of the herb, the scent and the oils will come out if you work with them too much. So you want to be very gentle in what you do. So it's kind of a rocking motion like this. See my knife going? Hold it up where you can see. There it is, and you rock. Okay, so that's what Miss Allen's going to do. She's going to rock, and it's gonna chop these. And there's a fancy French word for what we're doing. Would you like to hear what it is? It's called chiffonade. And that means to cut the herbs in these cool strips. You ready to see them? Because remember, they were rolled up, so this is kind of how they come out. And they're these long, fancy strips. There's your basil. And I wish we had smell-o-vision, or we were in person, because this is lemony. Oh, so lemony. So we're going to put some of that in ours. Now you might think, why do we have to put herbs in there? Just like eating grass. But it's not, because they actually do add a good amount of flavor. They add some freshness. And this is already a really fresh salsa, as you can see. But it just adds another layer. And with the lemon basil, oh, it's going to be great. Okay, so normally I would use my just squeezer. If you're going to do a whole, like a half one, which we are doing, you can do this and it squeezes. There's holes. So great. But we only need a quarter of a lemon, so we are just going to use our hand, a quarter of a lime. That onion's making my nose tickle. Nice thing about limes, they don't have seeds like lemons, so you don't have to worry about making sure the seed doesn't fall into your meal. If you were squeezing a lemon, I would recommend you squeeze it upside down so that the lemon juice and the lemon seed fall in your hand and you can grab the lemon seed. But because this is a lime, it doesn't require that. So get your muscles in and squeeze. Look at that. Keep squeezing. All of that will come out into that. This is smelling so good. It's making me hungry. So there's my spoon. We're going to mix that all in. Mix it up. And the last thing we need to add in is some salt. So salt is very important. I know that some people really watch their salt because they're worried about their blood pressure and that stuff, and that's very important. But salt is a great flavorer, and it brings out the moisture in your food and the taste. So I always recommend putting a little salt in, stir it around, have a taste, and see, does it taste right? Is it a little dry? Is it a little off? And then add some more if you need to. So this is my little chili pepper, salt, pepper shaker. So I'll put a little salt in there. I'll stir it up. Now, here's how it looks. Now, like I said, remember, mine's going to be a little more watery. My strawberries were defrosting. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Now, you can eat this salsa with chips or crackers. I have some pita chips, which I love to use because they hold up. They're nice and they're very tough. So pita chips would work well. Wheat Thins, the Triscuits, those are another really great one that would work. So just a reminder that we will not have a Kids in the Kitchen in the month of in the month of August. We will start back up in September. It's going to be apples. It will again be another online virtual program. So I don't know where the recipe's coming from. I don't know that it'll be from Freeding, but I will make sure that the recipe is available so you can follow along and make some apple recipes with me. I am so glad that you joined me today for a fresh salsa, fresh from my garden. How amazing. I hope that you're growing some things in your yard. At the end of this, right after I'm done talking, the event code will come up. Make sure that you put that in there. Remember, summer reading is almost over. So make sure that you get all of your points logged in and you are ready to start buying raffle tickets. If you haven't already been doing so, make sure you either stop by the children's desk or email us to talk about how you're going to pick up all your prizes. I hope that you've had a great summer, and we'll see you again next time.